Porpoises in Peril, Chapter 1. Here's our characters. Cam, Kate, Jada, and Reggie. Jada sprinted into the headquarters of the Global Environmental Research Agency, known as GERA. She ran up 5 flights of stairs, opened the door labeled Training, and saw her Science Squad colleagues sitting around the lab tables, flipping through a fat pile of papers, their new assignment. "Thank you for joining us," Professor Q said. "Oh, I lost," said Cam, looking dejected. "Lost what? A rare plant?" asked Jada as she slipped into a chair and pulled a tablet from her backpack. Cam was a botanist and had a backyard greenhouse full of rare plants. "No, I lost a bet with Kate," said Cam. "I bet that you'd be late for our meeting, and now I have to buy her lunch." Cam sighed. "But speaking of plants, I have a new one that you'll have to see." "Hold on," said Kate. "If he starts talking about plants, our meeting will last twice as long." Kate's dark eyes sparkled while Reggie, the 4th member of the squad, chuckled. The professor pushed the forward button on her wheelchair and glided closer to the others. She moved her long braid from her left shoulder to her right shoulder. That was the signal that she was ready to discuss an important environmental problem. She looked straight at them and said, "Sick porpoises." Reggie snapped a pencil in half, and his shoulders tensed. He hated to hear about any animal being sick, whether a wild one or a pet. Professor Q continued. Local officials spotted several porpoises near an island off the northern coast of Taiwan exhibiting uncharacteristic behavior. Because the porpoises have been losing weight quickly, the officials believe that something or someone has contaminated the local food supply of the sea animals. There is a risk that the porpoise population will decline, and that eventually all the porpoises will die. So the officials have asked for our help. I do not have to tell you the importance of maintaining the proper ecological balance in the world's environment. One mishap in one part of the globe can have disastrous effects on the opposite side of the world. The Science Squad members looked at each other. They knew how important this was. "When do we leave?" Reggie asked excitedly. "Your flight departs in 2 hours," Professor Q answered. "I have made airline and hotel reservations for you, and your GERA credit cards are loaded with enough money for living expenses and any emergencies that might arise. Jada has all the information on your tablet, and the rest of you have hard copies. Study on your flight. Oh, and good luck." After their 11-hour flight from Los Angeles to Taipei, then a 2-hour flight on a tiny, shaky plane, and then a long, moonlit walk, the Science Squad finally checked into the tiny Bamboo Inn on a small island in the waters between Taiwan and Japan. "How do you get an executive suite?" Cam asked Jada hopefully. Jada snorted with laughter. "An executive suite, Cam?" she teased. "This inn only has 4 rooms, and we've got all of them booked. I'll meet you all outside on the terrace in 30 minutes. She headed off for her room to shower and change, and then gathered her gear and headed out to the terrace. Jada was the first one there, and she sat down while the owner of the inn brought fresh fish, vegetables, and fruit juice for the team. One by one, the team emerged from their rooms and sat down, ready to start working. Soon, munching could be heard across the terrace as the squad members ate their delicious dinner. "Okay, it's time to formulate a plan," Jada announced, putting down her knife and fork. She powered up her tablet and plugged in the satellite receiver, one of the gadgets given to her by Professor Q. After all, there was no way to get a wireless connection on the island. Cam flipped open his sleek laptop with the Science Squad logo on the cover. "I'm ready," he said. "Let's start with what we know," Jada said. Reggie pulled the paperwork from Professor Q out of his bag and began referring to the report. "There are a lot of sick porpoises swimming in these waters, which is unusual because the porpoise population has been healthy and stable over the last 10 years, said Reggie. which means something has changed to make the porpoises sick. Some kind of change in their environment, Kate added. Jada busily typed on her tablet. So how do we find out what caused the balance to shift? Reggie twirled his pencil over his fingers. Well, first we need to actually see the porpoises. Cam interrupted. Someone down on the beach might have noticed something. Maybe we should head down there when it's light tomorrow morning and talk to the people on the beach. Kate looked up from the notes Professor Q had given them. It says here that a Dr. Vloodman reported the problem. There's a cell phone number, and he has a little research station down by the beach. Let's go down and talk to him first thing in the morning. Reggie nodded. But for now, we should go to bed, he said. The team said goodnight to one another and headed back to their tiny rooms.